Hello. Okay, we are live. Hi, Simole. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, there you go. Pin. The Pride of Noonlay. Yeah. How are you? How's everybody? Well, I think for the people who will watch after, you can inbox me and let me know what you're reading, how you're doing. I'm trying to remember. Okay, hold on. So this is what I'm reading today. Hold on. This is what I'm reading today. I love the cover. I love everything about this. Sure. This is part of the books that I got. I feel like my lighting is not nice today. I don't know. But let me see. Oh, my lighting is nice. It was just my phone. Okay, so I got this book as part of the books I got from Modjaji Books, Modjaji Books.co.za. But it's not Modjaji with a DJA. It's Modjaji, MODJAJI Books.co.za. So, how gorgeous. And this eye, can you see the pop of the eye? Oh, stunning. How are you guys? How have you been? How's your reading week? How is everybody doing during? I stopped counting the number of days we are in lockdown, but yeah, there's new developments from yesterday, so I need to catch up on that. But yeah, the COVID is still here. You must stay safe. I hope you've been reading. I hope you've been managing to read. I've been managing to read, and I'm happy. This week has been slow. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Terry. Guys, follow Terry from Barry Street. Asseblief toch. Hoor julle? I'm even speaking Afrikaans because part of her book is in Afrikaans. Okay, so I'm going to show you the books that I got from Modjaji. I did post... No, I didn't post them. Did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did this week. I forgot. Yeah, I posted them. They are on the timeline, but this is one of them. La Bastarda. It's a novel by Trifonia Melibia Obono. And then I got poetry. Modjaji's got nice covers, guys. Beautiful covers. And I got, that is a gringada, like a gringa, like a foreigner, by Tariro Ndoro. And let me put this one aside. And then I got Fool's Gold, which is edited by Arja Salafranca. Really interested in this book. Okay, so Simole says she is really interested in The Pride of Noonlay. Hey, Bussy. So Bussy says, hello, Mamani. Hello, Bussy. Hello. This is selected Modjaji short stories. So some of them are from individual books by Modjaji, and then they just put them in one. I'm looking forward to this. I love the cover as well. And then I got Running and Other Stories by Makosazana Klaba, which is my first. I'm looking forward to this as well. This is an award-winning book, actually. And Trinity on Track. This is a series, so maybe I might actually yeah, because it's a series, me and series, but I think I know someone who's actually watching who might like this. So, yeah, this is Trinity on Track by Fiona Snakers. The Trinity series is a young adult series, but yeah, and she's been longlisted 4 times for the Sunday Times Fiction Prize. Award-winning stuff. So this is the stack I got from Modjaji. Thank you. And we are going to be reading from The Pride of Noonlay by Shanice Ndlovu. And hold on, I think I wrote something here just so I remember. Oh, The Pride of Noonlay actually won no, not The Pride of Noonlay, but Shanice Ndlovu, the author, won a Africa's Ultimate Contest Award recently. So yeah, you can actually check out her profile on Instagram. It's Shanice Alia Snow. Yeah, Africa's Ultimate Storyteller Contest winner. So yeah. Simula says Fiona's books are available at secondhand books. Oh, at the one that we normally frequent. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Maybe I could make it like a pile. That would be nice. So I'm gonna read the about the book on the website, because yeah. Hold on, let me just see. Hi Charity. Hello. Hello, everybody coming in. Okay, so the stories in The Pride of Noonlay are crackling, lyrical, and controlled, and the worlds Ndlovu conjures are fascinating and vivid. This collection is a fresh contribution to African fantasy. Take a deep dive into stories of love, sacrifice, and loss. With this collection, you won't want to come up for air. Ndlovu's voice is original, confident, and lyrically beautiful, weaving tales of humanity even in the strangest of circumstances. And this is selling for 240 off of modjajibooks.co.za. Let me just, Charity says the cover is gorgeous, right? You can even follow Modjaji here on Instagram. They are I've just books there. One word on Instagram, and yeah, I think it's just one word. Yes, it is. I just checked Modjaji Books on Instagram and modjajibooks.co.za, but the book is available in all bookstores. I don't like in all good bookstores. Like a bookstore can be bad. Anyway, so I don't get it. So there is about, let me see, there's 2, 4, 6, there's 7 short stories within this book, including The Pride of Noonlay, which is what I'm going to be reading from. It's on page 49. So this is The Pride of Noonlay. Hold on. Patience is asking, is it just me because there's no voice? Can you please exit and come back in? Because someone did have a problem like that last week, and I think it was Blackbird Books. Yeah, someone did have a problem with that. Go in and out, or the other way around, sorry, and let me know, and please just go like this before I can continue. I'll wait a bit for you guys to just let me know if everything is fine. Please do a yes Should I continue? Thank you. Thank you, love. Uh, okay, I'm gonna continue. I think it's just your sound. Sorry. The Pride of Noonlay. She always smelt of home. I felt it most when she was alone by the mirk, singing the old songs. My mother used to say she could sing worlds to life, and she did. Every note filled my nose with overripe fruit and wet earth, tree sap and cow dung so pungent I had to check my boots and be sure I had not stepped on it. I yearned for Noonlay. My heart ached for home, and I would have given anything to be back in my own bed, eating my mother's bread and getting on my goma's very last nerve. Yet I could not leave her. For so long, Arin had been my privilege, and now she had become my burden and my destiny. There was very little of the old girl in the woman I was watching. She braided her hair and tossed it over her shoulder, a certain magic in that one act. She then stood and made her way back into town. I followed her through a few of the dingy alleys, losing her more than once and catching glimpses of scarlet through the grey. I stood back and watched as she slipped into the silver square. Then I turned around and made for the inn I had called home for longer than I cared to remember. My head was heavy, and my throat felt as though it was swelling shut. I stumbled into the long foot and found my way into my musky quarters. So this character is living in an inn, in a hotel. I had all but locked the door behind me when I crashed onto the bed and prayed the fever would let me sleep. Back from the square then, Sarah's voice behind me was nearly childlike in its sweetness. I managed to turn my head from the wall and grunt a muffled aye. You are early, she said. I'm ill. Whatever is the matter? She feigned concern like a master mama, and leaned towards me, intent brow furrowed in mock worry. The first time I had met the wide-eyed innkeeper's daughter, she'd been the ripe age of 6 and 10. I was 2 years older than her, but I knew things about the world that not even years would teach her. Except Sarah was not what she seemed either. Around her father, she had been as sweet as summer fruit, her eyes forever skirting beneath my nose, towards my feet. Then that very night she had snuck into my room and crawled into my bed as naked as winter cold. Waking to a mouthful of tongue and her hands all about me, I'd needed a solid moment to peel her off and gently explain that such games were not for me to play. Yet she still found her way into my room whenever she felt the need for it. I didn't always mind. I could feel myself becoming sour for company. I'm burning up a fever, I said. It's the damp. It does that in these parts. Seeps into your bones and mingles with your marrow, Sarah said. Sorry about the crying baby. It's not my baby's. It's outside, if you can hear this crying baby. Hello. Hello. Okay, so he's building up a fever. It's the damp. It does that in these parts. Seeps into your bones and mingles with your marrow, Sarah said. You have It seems like there is no sound. Let me see. We lost sound for a moment there. Okay, can you hear me now? Thank you. Okay, so the the exchange between the two characters is that the girl she comes into his room. Yeah. So Car, that's his name, Kahr. Thank you. Okay. Um so he okay, it does not belong to me. She was chosen. So she is encouraging him to just take it, but she's mocking him in a way. The exchange is like she can see that he's frustrated and he's tired and he's building up a fever, and she's just mocking him. And I think she's talking about the pride of Noonlay. So he can't just take it. So she laughed. That is the pride of your dear Noonlay, that scarlet-haired whore. The back of my hand itched where it would have landed on her cheek, were I not raised by my goma. So goma is always another way. Sierra was leaning forward now, studying my face in the waning light. And you know that, don't you, Car? Okay. Hi guys. Please confirm if you can hear me because I feel like I'm having connection issues. It's either our Wi-Fi or my network, my normal network. But the sound keeps on going and coming. So please confirm if you can hear me. I know Ntabiseng said you can hear me, and Western Veggie Garden just said there's no sound again. It's probably the network because there is it doesn't even show when the sound is off. So I'm going to continue. Yeah. Okay. So Sira is talking in jest, and okay. So I don't believe that that has ever been true about anything. There's always another way. Sira was leaning forward now, studying my face in the waning light. And you know that, don't you, Car? Of course I did, but that had nothing to do with anyone else. You will leave me now, I said, when she looked just about ready to lunge. Sarah slammed the door, and in my half awake state, I imagined I could hear her curse me all the way down the creek. She could never understand such delicate things as the pride. There were still many in Noonlay who understood the power of it, but never truly what it was. Explaining it to a stranger was like showing the stars to a corpse on a beautiful day in autumn, and then asking him to taste them. It was all that and so much worse. I had always known such things, of course. I came from a long line of prides, skirting all the way back to the time of dragons and storm songs. My Goma was the last of my family to have it, and I was meant to carry it after her. So that explains it then. He is, I think his Goma is the grandmother, who is now old, and he's there taking care of the grandmother. But obviously he lives in the inn while he's doing that, for his Goma to actually give the pride to him freely. Yeah, so that's what I'm understanding. Although carrying is not quite the word for it, I remember telling Aaron when we were children. I called her Oak back then for the oakish red hair that could mark her from across a field. We had our backs to the trunks of old oak trees, our toes meeting over the browning leaves that lay beneath our feet. I would brush my toes against hers, and she would move her foot ever so slightly. Then a moment later, she would move it back, smiling into the sky that was pure white and threatening a storm just as she was. What is the word for it then? She had asked. See. I tried to find the words to explain. It is in you, but you are in it as well. It seems as though you carry each other. I could tell from the way her forehead creased that I had lost her, and anyone who knew anything about me would tell you that I never lost anything, at least not back then. Take a bowl of milk, Oak, I tried again. If you were to cut your finger and bleed into the bowl, your blood would swirl into the milk but not disappear into it. They meld into one. They are changed by each other, but not one more so than the other. They become a part of each other, she said. Aye, I smiled. I had won. Irene had smiled too, her green eyes reflecting the trees in a symphony that was more than natural. That was very near divine. The only thing I knew about gods then was their rage and their accursed gifts. It was Irene who showed me their grace and peace, for nothing so profoundly bright could have been crafted by malevolent hands, I thought. I was young. I did not know better. So, let me see. I saw a comment. Sissy, oh, hi, Kamu. Kamu says, that's powerful. I come from a long line of prides. Yes. I like how Shanice writes. I like her. I love it, actually. It's very poetic, for a lack of a original word for it. But so Irene is a cousin, I think. Yes, or maybe not. But yeah, let me continue. Wait, what's the time? It's time for me to go. But this is fantasy, the Pride of Noonlay. So I feel like Car is there to fetch his pride from his Goma. Yeah. I feel like I want to read some more, but I can't. It's otherwise the video is going to be too long. I hope you enjoyed the reading, guys. I'm gonna go. Lord, I want to read some more. True, great diction. Poetic is the word, says Kamu. Yeah. Okay, let me just read like one paragraph of this. Oh, the video is going to be too long, but I'm going to read. 8 moons had died since that day. 8 years that had marked us both. And now I lay in an inn, hoping I would not die of a mere fever in the night. I fell into a troubled sleep to the sound of the people below, and dreams of my dear Noonlay crept up and down the walls of my mind. Oh, hi, Tash. Yay! I saw her burn to cinder. I felt her soaked in blood and buried beneath rubble. When I awoke, cloaked in sweat and with darkness all around me, I threw off my bed furs and placed my feet on the wooden floor. The inn was quiet beneath me, and there was barely a sound. I wondered at this time, as I often did, what Erin was thinking wherever she was. I did not have to wonder what she was doing, as there was only ever a single act for a woman of the night in Corland. Such games were not for me, of course, and such thoughts would not do to be thought of in the dead of night. So I tried to think of better things, remember better stories. I thought of the one that was often told to me as a child, one that I remembered telling to Erin beneath the old oaks. She had brought peaches that afternoon and wore her yellow dress with the white sleeves that she always rolled up her elbows. "See how thick my arms are getting," she would say, throwing a bony arm in my face. "Soon I will be able to wrestle the whole lot of you to your backs." I would always smile for her, a smile that I hoped told her what she needed to hear. I had never much trusted her myself with words. I never seemed able to say what I meant to, and because I felt everything so deeply, it would not be possible to trust it all to a few heaved breaths, some mumbled mistakes. I feared the words for the charred surface of my soul were yet to be made. But I had tried that afternoon to tell the story as Goma did, without cursing every other word, as was the way with her. It is told that Sirat held fast to the obsidian wings of Pamphire of the Red and cast him out of Haiva and onto the world below. Here Goma would go on to curse Pamphire and all of his 100-fold. The great shadow of the red god covered half the world and sped past him towards the ground. He tried to hold on to it, as it is told, but he failed. The great shadow, Dorn, crashed into a valley and shattered into dark shards of 17. I am fairly certain that Tigsa were 18, Car, she had said, her mouth half twisted in mockery. Tigsa is liar for 17, Oak, I had said, and did little to hide my self-satisfaction. I knew, however, from her secret smile that she had known this and had merely given me an opportunity to show off. These shards, as you well know, became the Tigsa and vanished into all the corners of peace. The nature of people is an uneven ground, and in others the good in us stands atop the bad, and then in others it does not. The nature of the Tigsa is a clean, well-traveled path that leads only one way. It knows only the bad of night, only the harrowing scream that brings no friends, only more foes. I knew enough to be terrified of the Tigsa. Even then, those were not words that I spoke lightly, and I was glad to find that Erin had the decency to spare a shudder or two. What I did not tell her then, but was a truth that she later found out, was that the Tigsa never came to you as an enemy seeking to conquer. It was always a friend when it seemed you had none. It courted you like a lover, taking the forms it needed and telling the lies that you wanted to hear until the idea of another being existing alongside your soul did not seem so depraved. Then, eventually, it would seem as though it were the only possible option. They ran loose and raised hell throughout the world, Pemphire himself had little sway over them. Sirat, the first father, saw what was happening in the world below and sought to remedy his summer brother's failings. I remember the smile I wore when telling this part of the story. Sirat was the god that I always prayed to first, the god of the sky. Was there ever such power, such pure glory? He knew that the only way to fight this darkness was with light. It is said that he built them from a piece of the sun and a handful of the moon, 18 piercing pieces of light that he threw down into the world below. That was the pride, dear oak, I said. I'm gonna stop. Oh, guys, this is fantasy, something new. I have yet to read a fantasy book, so I'm actually looking forward to reading this. I love this cover so much. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. So well done to Modjaji for this stunning book. If you're into fantasy, this is your book, and I will list the books that I got. Actually, they are on the timeline, so you can check that out after this live. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. I will see you guys next week, Friday at 5 o'clock. Thank you for joining me.